Today, we're going to be doing part 2 of my kind of Turtle Beach explanation. In my first video, I had a look and explained the business side of Turtle Beach and the market that it's in, and just kind of why gaming headsets are really, really popular and the industry is growing. Today, I'm going to be actually having a look at the financial side of things, though. So I'll look at its most up-to-date quarterly earnings and its kind of full revenue report for 2020. Just kind of giving you the highlights so that you have a better understanding of the company as a whole. Now, for a change, I actually really like the financial kind of side of Turtle Beach. Over the past few weeks, I've kind of been having a look at like penny stocks and companies that don't really have that strong kind of financial position. But with Turtle Beach, it does actually have quite a strong financial position, and it doesn't actually seem that expensive for what you get. Here we have HEAR, which is Turtle Beach's ticker symbol, HEAR. Its 52-week range has been $16 to $38.70. It has a market cap of $482.5 million, and its earnings per share are pretty good at $2.97. Now, if we actually have a look at the graph, you can see over the past 1 day, it's in the red. 5 days, it is green and been climbing quite a bit. 1 month, it's still in the red comparatively. 6 months, it's green, but it's kind of been quite steady. 1 year, it's green as well, so it has been climbing quite a bit. I think at the start of, 1 year relative, it was around $18. 5 years, from about February 1st, 2018, it has been on a bit of a rise. Well, it did spike up, drop back down, and then it's coming back up. And then if we actually have a look over the max, it looks like its high was around $80 in March 1st, 2013. And it's only really until recently that it started to climb back up. Now, what I would say about this is the average daily volume is not actually that high. It's sitting around 433,000. So it's not a highly traded stock. Here we have the 10K form, which is their annual revenue for 2020. It's not the most up-to-date revenue that they do have, but I will have a look at the 10Q form, which is their first quarter for 2021 after this. I want to have a look at this so you can see kind of the big picture revenue. Here we have the revenue for the past 5 years, so you can see kind of everything. They went from, in 2016, 174 million to, in 2020, 360 million. Now, they have had kind of ups and down years. Now, because they sell kind of physical products, they do have the costs of production, shipping, things like that. So it's not like a software product. It does actually have hardware components to it, which come with a higher cost than software products. But they do actually have still quite a good gross margin. Their lowest gross margin was 24.5% in 2016, and their highest was 37.8% in 2018. And for 2020, they had 37.2%. Now, over the past 3 years, they've actually saw a positive net income, which has offered quite a good average earnings per share. Now, another thing that's actually really good is when you actually have a look at their balance sheet data, it's progressively been getting better, reducing their total debt to nothing really, or nothing immediate. They finished last year with 203.4 million in assets and 46 million in cash. So if we have a look at the financial results, 2018 they had 39 million in net income, 2019 they had 17.9, so 18 million, and in 2020 they had 38.7 million. Here we have their 10Q form, which is the first quarter for 2021. They had a massive increase in net revenue. March 31st, 2020, they made 35 million. But for 2021, they made 93 million. They had a gross profit go from 10 million to 34.8, so 35 million. Last year, they made a loss of 3.5 million, and this year, they made a net income 8.8 million, which brings your earnings per share for the quarter to 49 cents, which is pretty good. Having a look at their balance sheet, cash and cash equivalents, they went from, at the end of last year, 46.6 million, to the end of the first quarter this year, to 62.9 million. They have 207 million in total assets, compared with a total liabilities of 80 million. So not only did their assets go up from 203 million to 207 million, but their liabilities went down from 87 million to 80 million. Another good point I would like to make about the company is that it hasn't had to generate a lot of revenue from kind of making stock offerings. There is only 15.6 million shares. Comparing that to last year when they had 14.5 million, it's not a massive jump. Now, there is kind of a downside when there isn't that many shares. It can be harder to buy the stock because, well, there's less to buy. So yeah, Turtle Beach's revenue actually seems very promising. When you look at the quarterly earnings for this year compared to last year, it had a massive jump. It went from like 35 million all the way up to 90. And another thing that I actually quite like the look of relative to this company is when you actually look at its revenue for the entire year of 2020. Now, for 2020, it made 360 million. Now, for this year, it's already made 93 million. So it's well on track to beat this kind of figure for 2020. And right now, its market cap is around 482 million, which when you compare its revenue to its market cap is pretty good. To me, the stock doesn't seem that overpriced. Now, I could get that wrong, and at some point its entire revenue could flop. The company could, I don't know, every gamer in the world suddenly just doesn't like Turtle Beach and the company could go flop. But from the information I have, even though I haven't been a gamer in years, it's an industry that is continuing to grow. Kids nowadays want to be Twitch streamers. The age when kids wanted to be astronauts and football players is slowly becoming, I wouldn't say dying, but that kind of group is becoming smaller. Now is the time of Minecraft streamers and YouTubers and Rocket League. But yes, rather than getting completely off topic, Turtle Beach, in my opinion, has some very strong finances and it's in a very good growing market. So yeah, it could be a very good option in terms of investment. Now, I would always like to say that don't take my word on it. I'm not an investing or financial guru. I'm a software developer. I look at the technical side of companies. And if the financial side of things kind of looks good as well, then yeah, it could be a good option. But do not base any buying or selling decisions on the content of this video. I will say that again, and I will say it a million times. Please do extensive research before you buy any company. That brings us to the end though. I do hope you have enjoyed and found this video informative. If you have, I would really appreciate if you hit that like button. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.